the Dream 100 Show. The epicenter of influence, collaboration, and exponential growth. You're about to discover the power of relationships. Dream 100 relationships. And you're one relationship away from a totally different business and life. This is your host, Michael Tasner.
Unreasonable Hospitality. This has been one of my favorite books that I've ever read. I've read it, reread it, listened to it on audio at least 5 times in the last 12 months, and have went as far as now becoming an Unreasonable Hospitality certified coach. I wanted to share today some topics that can help elevate you and your brand to a completely new stratosphere. And what I love about mixing Unreasonable Hospitality with all things Dream 100 is that the type of people that you're going after by way of Dream 100 clients and customers, referral partners, strategic alliances, media, being able to give them this level of hospitality can just separate you from the pack. So I'm going to talk through a few things today, and then I will continue next week and give you some more tips, tricks, things like that that you can implement. The first area that I want to focus on is obsessing about little details. Now, when I say little details, it is every single part of your buying journey, pre-buying, post-buying, everything in between. Landscapers, what does that buying journey look like? I'll tell you what it looks like. I'm going through it right now. Looking for someone to do a spring cleanup. So trimming, and I don't know why I don't use the same person every year, so that's on me. But went to Google, looked at Google Guaranteed, looked at some reviews, sent in some messages. I've heard back from 2 of the 5. It's been over a week. And of the 2 out of 5, I've responded, and then 1 did send a quote, and that was it. What if they were to flip this model on its head and not do what everyone else does? Let's talk through it and let's think about it. What if they said, we're going to give you a quote, but we're going to give you an instant quote. We're going to get on FaceTime together, and I'm going to have you walk me through your yard. And the reason I'm going to do that is that I don't want you to have to be there and figure out some time. And then if I'm running late, I know that process isn't fun. So let's coordinate. You tell me, when can you show me your yard on FaceTime or Zoom, whatever it is? Let's do 3 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, great. Now you could leave it at that. And that already is doing something very, very different from everyone else. Some people will say, send me pictures. I can't tell you I've ever had a landscaper say, let's get on Zoom. So let's say you've got 3 o'clock. Okay, great. How could I completely elevate that? Maybe I send a little care package, edible arrangement for $40 or $30 that says, thank you for inviting me into your lawn. So, I mean, that's a little corny, but you get the picture. What if I were to send a little gift card just as a thank you for allowing the opportunity? Obsessing over the little details. Great, so now you're doing the Zoom call. What happens thereafter? How do we completely reduce friction? Well, you got to sign a contract, and I'm going to need a week to give you a proposal, and let's do an instant quote. You're looking at things, you're sending it to them while you're talking, answering any questions. All this is being done live. If they like your quote, you're scheduling it immediately. There's no back and forth like what typically happens with landscaper. You're elevating that process. When I'm looking at the little details, I want you to see how can you remove friction, but how can you elevate it to make it feel premium? There was a video that I watched, I don't know how long ago, maybe a year or 2 ago, about somebody that was doing car detailing. His prices are higher than everybody else, but he would do some little things above and beyond. He would always leave a premium air freshener. He would leave a couple of things in the cup tray. And I can't remember exactly what they were, but maybe, I don't know, lotto tickets or just something fun. It wasn't just a leave behind tchotchke with his name and address, but it was something useful. Something useful. He would give extra vouchers, like he just went above and beyond and was able to charge premium prices. What I love about the detailing space of the people that will come and they will detail your car in person, that's definitely a premium experience. How can you elevate that even further? Well, you can do some of those little leave behind things. You can show up 10 minutes early so that if you say you're going to be there starting at 9 o'clock, you've already showed up, you've unpacked your gear, so you're starting exactly at 9 o'clock. You're texting updates if needed. If they need the car, they're not having to think, how long is this going to take? How long am I not going to have a vehicle? Those little extra things during the process. You're not saying, well, I can only take cash or check. You're able to take any form of payment. And then you make the rebooking easy and effortless. It's like my dentist, where you walk in, and I could argue that the experience is actually, I wouldn't say it's down in the dumps, but it's not as good as my first experience. I think as they've gotten busier, they've strayed away a little bit. However, there's a kombucha station, there's a fridge that has like 10 different drinks for you. They have headphones for you to listen to. They're nice Bose. They're not like cheapy headphones. TVs on the ceiling, Netflix, playing the music that you like. So they're doing those little things and they're just elevating the experience, but they're trying to obsess over all the little details. Well, how could they further obsess and how could they elevate that? They could make the booking process easier. Let me see real-time availability. I hate having to call in. Just had this yesterday. Terrible experience. I need to get in and see my doctor. He wanted to see me in the next week. Well, there's no appointments. The first one is next week, and I can't make it. I'm in a different city. Oh, geez. Well, and now they're booking me 3 weeks out. They're making me feel like I should be privileged that I get to get in and see the doctor. Terrible experience. Not premium, not obsessing over the little details. So if I was a doctor or anything in the medical space, literally, if I wanted to outdo everyone else, I would just improve the front desk. Better people, better processes, elevating that experience so it's not a terrible experience every single time. Filling in the stupid little clipboard, waiting for your name to be called. Change the model, throw it on its head and do it completely differently. Make it feel premium. How do you do? Well, there's robots. You could literally have a robot in your lobby greeting people. How is that? You could not only have a coffee machine, but maybe you have some extra snacks that are premium snacks, not the cheap crap. If you're a doctor's office, you shouldn't be handing out chips and Fritos and things like that. Healthy smoothies or protein shakes, Kind bars, things like that. Making all those little details frictionless and just having things feel premium. So your first action is to look at all the little details and see how you can improve the buying process and anything about your service delivery to elevate it to a new level. Number 2 is all about celebrating micro moments and or big moments. The day that they became a customer, their birthday, their anniversary. What if your doctor's office, what if your landscaper, what if your dentist, your HVAC company, what if they sent you an anniversary card? What if they sent you an anniversary gift? Look at how much money that I have spent with my dentist in the last couple of years. It's not hundreds, it's not thousands, it's definitely over 10,000. I don't even know how much it is. I don't even want to know, candidly. 20,000, 30,000, I don't even know. Multiple braces. I had a ridiculous amount of teeth work, cavities. And there's 6 people in my family. 6 people. What if my dentist sent me even a $20 gift card? something. I wouldn't say that it's like going way, way above and beyond, but celebrating these micro moments of what if they were sending me stuff in between cleanings? Here's a free bottle of toothpaste as a small thank you. They're not even giving out free, at my dentist at least, toothbrushes and toothpaste and flosser. And they stopped doing that. So that's part of more of the first one I talked about. But the second one more is about looking at those micro events that you could celebrate. Birthdays are the most obvious, but take it to another level. Anniversaries, first days of them being a customer, and then every single year. I'm spending, I don't even know, $50,000 in the last 10 years with Geico, for example. What did they ever send me? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're not celebrating any milestones, birthdays with me, anniversaries, day that I got my license, none of that. There's so many opportunities for you to celebrate your micro moments and obsess over those dates, those milestones with your customers. The last one I'm going to throw at you today is all about how can you not just elevate, because I've said that word way too many times today, but how can you turn something just into a bit of an experience to where it gives them a memory, that core memory that they're not going to ever forget? Now, you might say, well, Michael, how is a landscaper going to do that? Here's an idea. You've got the regular cuts. Now, my landscaper comes whenever the heck they want, which I absolutely hate. What if you had a get out of jail free card? What if you had a couple of them? That you've got a big party coming up, they will make sure that they only come at a very specific day and a very specific time so that your lawn is perfect for that particular party. I've never had a landscaper offer to do that, ever. What if they also offered to do a one-time weed trimming or whatever the heck, or pulling weeds before one of those big events for up to whatever, an hour or two, so that you don't have to deal with it, knowing that you're trying to get the yard ready, making everything look nice, fluffing the yard, so like a turn down service, but for your yard. That's actually a brilliant idea as I'm saying it out loud. No one is doing that, ever. So if you find ways to not only just elevate the experience, make it feel premium, obsess over the details, celebrate milestone dates, but create some of these experiences that they're not going to forget, it's game over. Read the book and or listen to it on Unreasonable Hospitality, and tune in next week. We're going to continue, because this is a differentiator unlike anything else. It's Michael Tasner signing off. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I'll see you next week.